Right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier.
Hey, how's everybody doing? It's Jerry from the Neutral Corner. Happy Monday, man. Happy Monday. We got through it at 7 o'clock. It's time for the Neutral Corner. Kick back, get yourself a drink, and let's talk a little boxing. Tonight's show, we're going to have Steve, the promoter of this event that we're going to get into. I want to talk about it again. And then Steve has a guest he wants to bring on. So we're in the mix right here. This is coming up, and this is going to be a huge event. But I definitely want to go back and give Clarissa Shields, heavyweight champ of the world, baby. Big shout outs, big props, man. You got some power at the heavyweight division. I thought you did great. You box well. Your speed's going to be a problem for a lot of those heavyweights, and you're carrying that power, man. So congratulations on your win of the world championship title in the heavyweight division. Good for you. Can't wait to see what's next. Doc, her cut man's been on the show multiple times. Great job in that corner. I got to see you in the corner, and you're calm, and your demeanor's great. You're a cut man. You do what you got to do. I just want to give a big shout out to Doc. We will have him on the show again to talk about some of the fights he's been involved in. Big week, week 3 this weekend. Bernardo's Boxing. Let's not forget, get down there, Anawan Street, get your tickets. Watch these fights as these young men try to make their way to the ship, the battleship that is, the Big Mamie down at Heritage State Park on the deck with the sunset, with the bridge. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a Fall River thing. You want to get out there and check out these fights. These guys are trying to get to the next level, so you're going to see the best. You're going to get the best out of them because they want to make it to the next level. That's happening Saturday night. Doors open, I want to say 5, 6. I'm not sure. I'll be sharing that information from Bernardo's Boxing. But week 3, baby, again, we're in the mix. We're in this one. Great show so far. He has had week 1, week 2, amazing boxes, amazing gyms, amazing trainers doing great things with these young fighters. I love the old school way. Yeah, man, I love what's going on, and I get to go to these fights thanks to Aaron Bernardo's Boxing. I get to go to these fights, interview some of his fighters. You can go back to the Neutral Corner Facebook page and see those interviews. Again, go to the Neutral Corner Facebook page, give us a like, give us a follow, go over to our YouTube channel, do the same thing. Hit the little bell, and you'll know when we're live. You'll get a notification. With that all being said, see how quick I did that? You see that? That's amazing. That's amazing. So tonight I have the promoter, I believe it's Seaport in Fairhaven, Massachusetts State Police boxing team fighting boxers from England, New Jersey, and New York, I believe. I have the promoter of this event, Steve. We're going to get right into it. We're going to bring Steve in right now. Steve, come on in.
Hey, how's it going, Jerry?
How are you?
I'm living the dream, sir.
Good. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Absolutely. You look like you are, man. So look, just to go back a little bit, tell us a little bit about the Massachusetts State Police boxing team. Give us a little history.
Started in 1976 by a trooper named Bobby Benoit. Raised, I love to say this, $278 for the first show, which that's how long ago it was. Been continuing to fight, barring any COVID restrictions, but the team continues to fight and raise money for charity, and that's what it's all about. So we have members of the state police and local police officers and sometimes local firefighters that will fight with the team, and we always bring in other states or other country police and firefighters to fight the troopers and who is ever on the state police boxing team for the event. And we will do a check presentation right at the show of whatever charity we're fighting for, if not the week after, on our Facebook page.
Wow. So this is not your first show you promoted?
No, I've been promoting the team since 2004.
Wow. So what's it like? What's that?
That's all I do.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work. Let me fix my speaker here. All right.
It's fun though.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fun. You know, when I tell people what I do for a living, they're like, "What?" I go, "Yeah, I promote the state police boxing team in Massachusetts." They're like, "How does that work?" I go, "Well, I put asses in the seats. I get sponsors for the show. I get ring girls for the event. I get, I try and get as many people to donate as possible, and that's what it's all about, fighting for charity." So,
yeah, no, that just the way you said it is a lot of work. Sounds like a lot of work. It's got to be a lot of work. You got to get permits, all kind of things. Now, this is sanctioned through USA Boxing also.
boxing will be there, yes, sir.
So there's a lot of steps to this, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of work. So you're flying. Let me ask you, you're flying in fighters from England?
So England has a couple different teams. This one's made up of firefighters and police officers. So they will have 4 fighters, 3 or 4 fighters from England. We will have, I believe, 4 fighters between Denver, Colorado Police and Denver, Colorado Fire. New York City Fire is supplying 4 other fighters, I believe, as well.
Wow. So yeah, you're gonna have a pretty good card. Now, how many members are on the Massachusetts State Police boxing team?
Last time I checked, there was 60, but by the time showtime comes, hate to say it, funerals, weddings, graduations, by the time we end up getting towards closer to the show, who can train that quick or who can't train that quick, usually we have about 12 to 14 that are active for the whatever show we're doing. So it switches. It's not always the same troopers on the team. It's not always the same officers. It's not set in stone who's going to be at every fight.
Right. It sounds like you got enough guys to choose from. So that helps a little bit.
Absolutely, it does. And Lieutenant Murray's the one that puts together all the fights. He's been around boxing since the team started. He's the president of the team, and he's got all the contacts with all the other teams from other countries and from the teams in Denver and New York. So he's the one that does the matchmaking, and I leave that up to him.
How did you reach out to England? Talk to me about that. The idea of getting England fighters to come down and reaching out to them.
He did that probably first time they were here was got to be, I'm going to mess up the year, at least 10, 15 years ago was the first time we had him over. So we've had Ireland over, and it's just contacts through the boxing world. So we follow the Australian boxing team on Facebook. They follow us. I mean, we're trying to get Australia to come. We're trying to get Italy to come. He has been the one that made all the contacts with the teams, Lieutenant Murray. Charlie Murray is the president of the team, so I don't take credit for that. He's done all the hard work for that.
No, absolutely. I mean, it takes a team. It's a total team effort, everybody working together. This is not an easy thing to do. I know I've interviewed guys that are putting on shows, like Aaron Bernardo's putting on a huge show right now. So look, I do want to say the Massachusetts State Police boxing team is the only one in the country.
Only state police boxing team in the country.
That's amazing, man.
Just continues to rock and roll. There's local police that have teams. DOC in Mass used to have a team, but I don't think they're active anymore. We used to fight with them quite a bit. Denver's always been up here, or we've gone down there. New York's always been part of our fights. So I guess we're the only staple. So I'd love to see other state police boxing teams pop up and have them come here and we go there and that sort of stuff. I'm always looking for new teams to bring in to fight the troopers. So.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So you put on these events, and how do you decide which 501c3 gets the donation that you guys have been making? How do you come up? Is it everybody sit down together and say, hey, this is what we're choosing?
So there's a committee for the team, and they're either approached by charities or I said this last time, but I will repeat it. It's not something I like to say, but if there is a civil servant, police officer, firefighter, trooper that gets hurt or killed in the line of duty up until showtime, that's where the money will go to first. After that is different charities. We've done veterans organizations. We've done homeless shelters. We've done family homeless shelters like we did down the Cape last year, a place called Tommy's Place. And we did Heroes in Transition last October in Hyannis. The fight before that, we did to the trooper Tamar Bucci Memorial Fund. She's the trooper that got killed, I believe now 2 years ago on Route 93 in Stoneham by a gas truck. We gave them a $50,000 check. So it just depends on what is brought to our attention or to my lieutenant's attention and who's in need. And, by the time showtime comes, we usually have a good idea. I know some of the proceeds from this show will go to the Bristol County veterans. We're going to do a big raffle. Me and Carl will come on and talk about what he's got for raffles when you're ready to have us. And
absolutely.
He's got stuff, man. He's got some fantastic stuff. I can't wait.
Yeah, I want to have him on. And I'm hoping you will help me make that connection like you've had it already with a few of these. And Kyle's been great too.
Yep. So I want to, if I can back up a minute. So I did tell you about the event. So the girl that's helping us from Sassy Angel, Sophia, that works at the Seaport, she's going to open a side street at 1:00 on that day. We're going to have, right now, I got 3 food trucks. I'm trying for a couple more like me and you talked about. Her DJ that's going to end up being our DJ will start playing music so everybody can come hang around the Seaport Resort Marina, hang around the beach, walk around, get some food, have some fun. Our fights will start at 7:00, and that same DJ will be there as well. So we're trying to make a whole day where she's taking care of her people down your neck of the woods, and then everybody can come watch the fights as well. So it should be a good family fun. I mean, there'll be food trucks there. People can hang around the beach and then watch us fight at 7:00.
Sounds like an amazing place, man. At Seaport Inn in Fairhaven, correct, Steve?
It's so I don't know when they changed the name. It's now called the Seaport Resort Marina.
Seaport Resort Marina. Okay.
Same place though. Yeah, it used to be the Seaport Inn, but it's pretty exciting for us as a team to be able to fight outside as well.
Yeah.
Barring any rain, we'll be fighting outside.
So I'm getting something off my screen. So we're praying to the boxing guys that we got some nice weather.
You got that right.
I think it's amazing that you donate the money to different organizations and charities, the homeless you spoke about and the veterans. I think that's amazing, man. You know what I mean? I really think that it shows, what you can do when you pull everybody together, all the resources together. I always thought, look, boxing taking, you've been involved in boxing, you promoted more than one show, you know boxing, the game can be tricky, but there's a lot of good that comes out of boxing, and people don't understand that sometimes.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, like I said, I'm going to have another guy on that me and you talked about, Mr. Hardy. I did speak to him. I forgot to tell you, he's absolutely wants to come on and talk about the gym he opened up. He's a 501c3 charity too. And he's absolutely wants to come on. He remembers meeting you a week or two ago when you saw his McLaren, and we laughed about that for a couple of minutes. So you want to.
Wow. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. How do you decide? And I'm looking at my notes because there's a lot, and I want to make sure I get it right. No, I mean, I just think it's great. We're good at where we're at. I got notes everywhere today because I want to keep this fresh in people's minds, so that way, when it comes showtime, it's not new to you. You've heard about it and stuff like that. How can people go about getting tickets to the event, or can it online? Is there anything like that?
As I converse with you, we have a poster up on our Facebook page that Justin might still have. The QR code was not working properly on the poster. It would take you to mspboxing.com, but the old show was still up there from May 24th. Charlie Murray, my president, has said he's going to take care of that. I forget if he said today or tomorrow, but you can either call me on my phone if you would like to purchase tickets. You can purchase tickets at the door the night of the show, and the mspboxing.com will be up and running hopefully in the next day or two. We can get them right online.
All right, you kind of broke up there. What was that last one?
mspboxing.com.
mspboxing.com. All right.
And if you go on there today, it might still say May 24th. So just wait for Charlie Murray to fix that. He's thinking today or tomorrow. But over the next couple of days, we'll say the August 24th show, and you'll be able to buy tickets right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate that. We'll get all that info. We'll make sure the Neutral Corner's got all that up on their Facebook page, and we're going to also share it in other boxing pages. Sounds like a great event. Come on out. Hopefully it's a great weather event, but it's boxing, man. Everything behind the jab, we're going to be all right. Come out and support these guys. I think it's amazing, Steve, again, on what you do and how you get involved. So I know we have somebody that's waiting I want to talk to. I want you to introduce him. And
absolutely.
So go ahead, take this. I'm going to sit back and let you you're going to be the host right now. So go ahead.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. When we were talking off camera, Brian's right up my alley. Brian DeRocher, he's a Mashpee police officer. He's got one fight under his belt. He'll be fighting with our team for the first time on August 24th. Right up the boxing alley. Got a great trainer, Jimmy McGee. Got a great friend, Tommy Toomey, used to own Cape Cod Boxing, is how Brian got involved with Jimmy. And, we were talking off camera, as you know, and Brian's right up the boxing alley, is he not? So if you want him to come on in, absolutely. He's ready to talk. He's ready to tell you all about it.
Here he is. He's here already. Brian, what's happening, man? How's things?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Good. First, I want to start off telling you thank you for your service, man. I really do. I do. No you guys are out there. I know you're humble. I can see it already. But you guys are more than police officers. You're dealing with everything, and it's just thank you for your service, man. I mean that. I really do.
No worries. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, too.
No, absolutely, man. That's what the Neutral Corner is about. Steve and I he's been on the show. We've talked in the past. I like to have the Neutral Corner. I don't want to make it about me or the Neutral Corner, even though the Neutral Corner is the best corner they can tell you to go into. The reason why is when you knock somebody down, they tell you to go to the Neutral Corner and give them an 8 count. That's the corner you want to be in. Just saying. But, look, man, it's your stage. I want you to tell your story. I think it's important that we hear from, and I don't want to say fighters because I had a very old friend, probably one of the oldest referees, judges in USA Boxing on this side, tell me, every time I said the fighters, he kind of cringe. He's like, they're not fighters. They're boxers. They're sportsmen. And so I just want to say boxing. How did you get involved in boxing, man? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, there's I don't know. I always was impressed by the art of the sport. So my grandfather was a boxer. He came over from Italy, and long story short, he was like, I knew he was an athlete. I don't know a ton about him, but he was a boxer. He loved it. Ton of pictures. I've been around it my whole life. But last couple winters, like, as you know, at Cape Cod, it's in the winter, it sucks, right? So it's cold. There's nothing going on. So I was like, I got to pick up something. I wanted to get into boxing. And how I got into it is kind of funny. I could tell that story if you want, but
yeah, absolutely. Tell it. Your stage, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. Like so one of the guys at my PD ended up boxing with the MSP, and we all went. We had a blast. There was like a ton of guys there. It was a huge event, and we were causing like an absolute ruckus. Like we were getting in trouble because we were slamming the freaking mats and just being loud. Obviously, alcohol involved, but guys were having a good time. And I remember sitting back. I'm like, dude, I want to be a part of this. Like, I want to fight for this team. I want to do, obviously it was charity, so it's got a great cause. And Brett Calhoun from Mashpee ended up winning his fight. And I was like, this is awesome. I want to be a part of this. So I went to this gym. I'm not going to say where it was because I don't want to throw him under the bus, but I went to this gym and there was like a ton of people there, obviously. And I know I get it, the new guy stuff. So I'm brand new and I walk in and there's this whole class and everybody's got sparring partners and there was a couple. The instructor was cool, but what ended up happening was I'm fighting and we're training him. They set me up with this kid. He's got to be like, I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I'm 170 pounds. This kid's got to be 11, right? 11 years old. And they're like, all right, this is your partner. And I'm holding the mitts for him. And then we did sparring and I'm like going back and forth with the kid. And I'm like, the kid's mother's in the stands. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, so after like 5, dude, I went to 5 classes. So we're now talking like a month and a half. And I'm like, I'm fucking always sparring this kid. And I'm like, I finally went up to the instructor. I'm like, listen, I know the new guy thing. I get it. But I'm paying you $150 a month. Like, I want to get my ass kicked, And I'm like, this kid, I can't be sparring with this 10-year-old kid every time. Like, his mother's like watching this whole thing. Like, that's how young he is. So I'm like, forget it. I ended up actually quitting that gym, and I was just weight training one day. And this guy, Jimmy McGee, works out at my gym, USA Fitness in Falmouth. And he's always wearing boxing shit, and he's got kind of a chip on him, I can tell. And I kind of liked him, but he sits in the mirror and he's got his hands up and he works out and then he looks and reads the room. He's got his hands up like this. And I'm like, this guy either wants to fight everybody or he's just he's ready to coach somebody. So I went up to him and I said, I never met the guy. I just always saw him. And I went up to him like, hey, I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but do you coach boxing? He's like, Dorchester, Southie accent. He's like, fucking yeah, matter of fact, I do. And so I was like, listen, I'll pay you whatever. I don't care what it is, but I'm looking to fight for the Mass State Police, and I want you to be my coach. And I could just tell, I read him like a book, and I'm like, this guy's my fucking guy. I know it. So we ended up hooking up. We did a couple sessions, one-on-one, and initially I told him, I said, and this guy's awesome. Like Jimmy coaches, so he does punches for Parkinson's. So he works with like elderly and stuff like that. And he also works over at Rocky's gym in Falmouth, coaching like 4th to 8th graders, just getting them in the ring, like troubled kids, getting them some ring time and teaching them
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah. So Jimmy's got the whole spectrum. And so it's good. I think it was good for both of us. He's my style. And I like his kind of like his former military. He's a Dorchester guy. He's been around boxing his whole life. And he yells at me. I love it. I need that type of discipline. If I'm feeling like shit, he's definitely the guy that just fucking yell in my ear and get me going. And I was saying earlier before we went live, like this guy, we're training doing 6 minutes of pad work for an hour with a minute break.
Hang on. Justin, if you could put that video up of Jimmy and Brian here doing a mix. Before you say anything, I want people to see who he is. So those that are watching, that was Jimmy holding the mitts.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Jimmy.
Jimmy, I don't know much about his background, but I know he's been around boxing his whole life.
He looks like a badass.
He's
I'm gonna tell you right now, he looks like a badass.
I look up to him, man. He's a badass dude. He does. He holds me accountable, which I like. But he's in the ring, and he's the type of guy that's like. He told me, he's like, I'm not going to be that coach that's going to sit in the fucking chair and tell you what to do. If I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to make you do it. And dude, he spars with me. We get in the ring once, every couple weeks. We'll go a couple rounds together, and he'll put me back in check. Sometimes I get a little confident, and he'll let me know how much I suck. But
I love it.
But Brian,
so
is it? No, hang on. No, I'm not. No, it's probably. I hope it's not. But I want to ask you, right? Because we keep it real here on the Neutral Corner. So when you're sparring with him, is it different than sparring with that 11-year-old?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, no.
Hey, I'm messing with you. How old?
Yeah,
look, Jimmy looks like. I gotta have Jimmy on, man. We gotta have Jimmy on.
Yeah, I honestly, he's a funny bastard. He'll definitely entertain you, but he's got a ton of experience. He's a great dude. Like I said, he puts his whole time into me. I mean, I've been training with him for 10 months, and he's been there every time. He never flakes out. He's going balls to the wall every single training session.
You trust him.
Oh yeah. And he's, he's put me in the ring with some guys that, he trusts, some real good fighters. It was a kid that I sparred with. Kid was like 9-0 in the Cage Titans. And he was just like, I want you to go in the ring with him. This kid had nothing to prove. So he wasn't in there to ring my bell, but he's put me in there.
You want to say his name? You want to give him a shout out?
To be honest with you, I can't.
You don't remember his name?
Yeah, no, it'll come to me. But the kid's a good dude. But he went in there. He's got nothing to prove, and Jimmy set me up with the right guys. He's not putting me in the ring to get my ass kicked. When we're sparring.
You're learning.
He's teaching me, and he's smart. And there's a whole process to what he does. So as you can tell, I mean, I've been talking about him. I got a ton of respect for him, and I've learned a ton from him, just, about boxing and a lot about myself. So shout out to Jimmy.
I love
that.
Yeah,
so go ahead, Steve. Jump in. Steve, go ahead, jump in, man.
Oh, I was saying, I'd love to get him on with you too. He sounds looks like he.
Yeah, no.
I asked him if he wants to fight on the team too. You see what kind of shape that guy's in?
Yeah, He'll tell you he won't fight because he said he's got a little bit of CTE from getting rocked his whole life. So he's been in the ring a bunch. So I don't know if it's going to take a lot to get him in there. But
against Tommy Toomey.
I feel bad for the dude that he's going against because he's an angry motherfucker. I'm telling you. and I love it. His energy's wild. He's a good dude. He like I said, I got nothing bad to say about him.
I'd like to get
lost your.
Tommy Toomey. Can you hear me, Brian?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Jerry's having a problem with his connection, so I'm just gonna pop in, and I'm gonna try and get him to get that all figured out. That way, we don't have a little bit of a lapse here. So,
You better look.
obviously, Steven, I've been listening. Obviously was part of the show with last time you were on here with Jerry
Yep.
and Brian. Also, want to start off by saying thank you for your service. We obviously, between the Neutral Corner and us, everybody here, we have a huge respect for our service members. So,
Yeah. No worries. Thank you.
the story is just great. I think just hearing about your trainer alone, I'm sitting over here, just getting all hyped up, pumped
Yeah.
up. You know, it's just there's just a lot of people in the boxing world that have that kind of swagger to them, as us young kids would say, right? That it's just they get the best out of you. They know how to hype you up, and they know how to bring out what
Yeah.
needs to be brought out, especially in the corner. So
Call him. Hey, Brian, call him a dot rat. You probably never heard.
Oh yeah, I already. Yeah, he knows what he is. I don't even have to tell him.
Oh, yeah. So, Southeast Reading, but Southeast first, they were dot rats. I went to BC High on Morrissey Boulevard in Dorchester.
what's up, Jerry?
I'm not on. Everything went out.
I know you got to rejoin. Your thing froze off and it kicked you out, buddy.
All right, I'm coming in.
All right, that's all right. We got it all under control. All right.
Yeah, that guy Jimmy, man, he looks like a crazy bastard. I love that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
just
he's
from the
got-
video, you see how big and he just looks like somebody you don't want to
Yeah.
be fucking around with.
Yeah. No, he don't play. He does not play games, man. Like I said, I picked him out at the gym, and I'm like, that's my dude right there. And it was good. It worked out. You guys awesome. So
That's cool.
Let's get him up against Tommy Toomey, Brian.
yeah, I don't know. That'd be a good fight, actually. That'd be a real good fight. I'd pay to see that. I'd pay a lot of money to see that.
I would pay to see that too. That'd be a good one.
I'd have to get into Jimmy's corner though and give him all the shit he's been giving me for the last 10 months.
Perfect.
Payback, right? Yeah, make that go full circle. That's funny.
Love every minute of it.
Brian, let me ask you this while we're waiting for Jerry to come back in. He must have had connection problems or something, but I'll ask you while we're waiting for him to come back in. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling as the event's coming closer. I mean, we're only 4 weeks away from the event now. So tell us a little bit about how you feel about getting closer to event time. Obviously, with training and preparation.
Yeah. I feel good. I'm ready to rock. It's just a matter of like we all know, like the cardio is important, confidence obviously, but I'm ready to fucking go. I was telling guys I can fight tomorrow if I wanted to.
Yeah.
We look back at May when we were supposed to fight. I thought I was ready in May, and we had a little bit of a hiccup, obviously, but I'm glad it happened the way it happened because it gave me some more time to just get, my cardio up, get a little bit of confidence, get me some more ring time. So yeah, I mean, I'm ready to go. I can't fucking wait.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be there. I know Jerry sent us the flyer. I'm Jerry's son-in-law. So he sent us the flyer the minute that he got it for the event, and we live right in Dartmouth, 2 towns over. So
Yeah,
we
you
said,
I can hear your accent. You said Dartmouth.
That was
Yeah,
a
so we
good,
said-
a good impersonation of a Dorchester accent, though, Brian. I'm proud of you. You hit it right up.
Okay.
You should have done in that movie, The Departed. where they all put it on accent. That guy. Come on, guy.
Hey, I would have been the cop that fucking. No, that's the town. I was gonna say the cop that looks the other way when they're robbing the bank. He's on the detail and he's like,
Yeah.
So
That
let
movie-
me ask you this then, Brian, because Steven obviously filled us in with tons of information about the Massachusetts State Police boxing team, and having a lot of Massachusetts State policemen, having some town officers, firefighters, and all sorts of stuff. So tell us a little bit about work, right? We all want to know you as a person as well. I think that's one of Jerry's most important things he likes to bring to the show. So tell us a little bit about how you got into becoming a Massachusetts State policeman, and tell us a little bit about work and maybe some of the things you enjoy and don't enjoy about work.
yeah. So I'm a Mashpee police officer. It's down Cape.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's
No,
right.
it's
You
all
did say in the
good. It's all
beginning, so I
good.
apologize.
Yeah, no. Long story short, I mean, I wanted to be a cop since I was a kid. Somehow I pursued it all the way through high school. I stayed out of trouble. I used to work at the DOC over at Old Colony in Bridgewater. I was a CO over there for 4 years, and the whole time I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Like it's time went backwards in there. I met some of the best dudes in the world, like coworkers, some of the most solid guys I've ever met. I'm still talking to a lot of them, but my whole plan was to never stay in there. I always want to be a police officer. So at the time, there was a lot of guys coming back. When I started applying, there's a lot of guys coming back from Afghanistan, Iraq, a lot of guys with vet status. And at the time, everybody wanted to be a cop. So it took me a little bit to get hired. I think I applied at Mashpee like 3 or 4 times. And finally, they were like, this kid hasn't given up. We might as well take him. So I've been over there for 8 years now. The K9 officer over there, I got a patrol dog. Absolute psycho. He's criminal apprehension. He does criminal apprehension and bite work and human odor tracking. We're on the SWAT team together. We do. We've had a ton of deployments as far as like we cover Falmouth, Bourne, Mashpee. We've had a ton of work. Just nothing that no one else hasn't done, but I have fun. I definitely have a good thing going with the dog, and
Oh yeah.
The SWAT stuff is fun as hell. We get to, we're down at the range every couple weeks. We're training with some, some of the Cape's most badass cops get in there and do some SWAT stuff. So
That's cool.
it's fun. It's definitely a good time. Especially like I see a lot of young kids at the gym now, and I'm like, if they even look half decently squared away, I'm like trying to get them to we're trying to recruit now, just because it's like no one wants to do this job anymore.
Yeah, yeah, it's a dying breed, right? I mean, it's true. I work do a lot of state work. I work for a guardrail company, but we do a lot of state work where we're dealing with details from multiple towns. Towns all over the state of Mass, and obviously Mass State Police, and it's just they're just dwindling away.
Yeah,
you see the same faces all over the state now. They're just dwindling away. So if you can recruit and get some of these good young kids in, that's a great deal.
I mean, you meet some of the best guys. I'm a gym guy. I mean, you meet some of the best guys in there, and you start to build rapport with them. But there's a lot of, like you were saying, like no one. It's a dying breed,
Yeah.
But especially now, like no one wants to work ananyway.
Right.
And if they want to work, like who the hell wants to be a cop? It's that's the mentality now. So, I try to promote. It's a great freaking job. We get paid well. It's really not. Like, some people feel like, it's thankless. It's not a thankless job. Like it's, you can find good in a lot of things and really make a career out of it. So
yeah. Well, I mean, and like I said earlier, is we talk about it. I know I do all the time in this household. We're a big back to blue family. So, our firefighters, our first responders, our state police, our local police departments, we commend you for everything you guys do, because it's definitely not easy from our side. And we only see not even a quarter of it. So, for sure. So we appreciate that. That's awesome. But Jerry's back in.
Can I make a human aspect? So Brian,
go ahead.
Brian, don't you have a gift coming soon too, or if you already had a gift coming soon, my friend?
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say that. I got a little girl. She's due in a couple weeks.
Woo!
So it's my first.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
First, is it your first child?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
of course it's a girl. Like I can't like.
Hey, wait a minute. My first was a girl.
Yeah.
My first was a girl, and she's a badass.
Yeah, I'm hoping she's gonna be a bad. I know that I think Jesus Christ looked down at me and he said, I'm gonna not punish you, but she's gonna be born beautiful with an iPad and a prom date and everything that you've done in your life. This is gonna be a punishment for you. You're gonna deal with it. And
nah, man, she's gonna be the one that puts you in check. And you need that. Believe me.
I know.
I only brought that up not to embarrass or say something.
No, absolutely not, man. Congratulations.
I like to show the human aspect of a police officer too.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
So,
look,
Jerry, can I just because this went haywire and I jumped into action and came in so that way the people didn't lose anything from the neutral corner today while you figured it all out. I do want to ask Steven one thing. I'm going to back right out right after I ask him, because we asked Brian to tell us a little bit about work, what he felt coming up to the event, how he feels, and then obviously about work and stuff like that. So I want to ask Steven one thing. Like I said, once I ask it, I'll back out. I'll be listening from the green room. But so Steven, we obviously know that you're a promoter for the events for the Massachusetts State boxing team. Boxing aside, what does it mean to you to be, promoting and surrounding yourself with Mass State policemen, from local policemen, from firefighters? Because these are people who protect and serve our community. So tell us a little bit about that, and I'll back out.
When I was first approached about doing this a long time ago, I was like, absolutely, I would do it. And I've always loved boxing. Me and Jerry talked about that last time. And to be able to, okay, so boxing, right, is a violent sport, Okay, so kids come to my show. Headgear and mouth guards are worn. Yeah, do they try and knock each other out? Absolutely, all day. But it's a family type situation. Everybody can come have a good time in some way, shape, or form. I brought my own kids to the show at 5 years old, at 4 years old. They had a blast. So at the end of the day, I can't find any loss to it, right? There's no, people say weigh the pros and the cons. There's all pros. I meet a bunch of great dudes. I meet a bunch of great ladies that fight. We have some tremendous ladies that fight on our team. Hopefully there'll be one at the show. I believe she's a trooper from Rhode Island. I haven't had the pleasure yet, but she's an ass kicker. Ashley Moore is one of the fighters that's on our team. She's ranked amateur. And they give usually the best fights of the night. I'm not going to lie, because they go after each other. But everybody that's on our team, it's just, for me, it's a satisfying thing to see it, where it starts, where the president, Charlie Murray, brings it, where I get to put my hand in and bring it, where I get to bring other people to make friends. I mean, these guys are able to fight each other. Then after that, we all have dinner together. All the fighters come to dinner. They all shoot the shit. They all hang out, meet each other, laugh, have fun. So, I mean, it's peaceful, it's serene, but it's boxing at the same time. So there's excitement, there's fun. Watching people hoot and holler and root for who they came to see it's just like anything else. Whoever your home team is, that's who you're going to root for. It's great to have rivalries. It's great to have, I want to fight him again next time they come, whoever won, whoever lost. So, I mean, it's just a great experience to be able to just be a small part of it. So, I mean, I love doing it. I've been doing it for a long time. I will continue to do it. And hopefully, with COVID restrictions being gone from last year, hopefully we'll do 2 or 3 shows a year is what the goal is.
Absolutely. And I know it's straight from the heart, and I know you mean that, but that's promoting, man. And I think I don't want to say makes it easier. And doesn't make it easier to promote it, but it makes it easier to promote something you truly believe in the good things.
Absolutely. Agreed.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to look for the right word. But look, I don't know what happened. I want to bring it back to Brian. I don't know what happened. Everything just went like boof. I'm like, whoa, what?
Justin did fine. Justin's gunning for your job, Jerry. Justin's gunning for your job.
Yeah, Justin's good. He does a podcast called The Side Draft anyway. So, but I don't know what happened. I'm high. I got the hard wire in. I'm not on Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, nothing like that. I'm locked in, and I'm like, all of a sudden it just said boom, and I couldn't get on. Nothing. Anyway, we're back. Here we go. We got Brian, police officer, a boxer for the Massachusetts State boxing team. And we've talked before we got cut off, but I want to bring it back to Brian and ask Brian. Brian, who's your biggest inspiration?
Oh, that's tough. Talking like lifetime or?
Who's your biggest inspiration? Whatever you want it to be. Lifetime, a week ago, today.
This does not have anything to do with boxing, but
it doesn't matter. It's your show.
I always liked, and I'm on 5%, guys. So if I cut out, my phone's dead. I was always a Kobe Bryant fan, believe it or not, and I grew up I love obviously liking basketball, but if you hear some of the stories about his work ethic and the shit, he was a shit talker. He was a hard worker, and he was good at what he did. Mm-hmm. So growing up, I think that's the first person that came to mind. But I mean, anything new, I would say this guy Jimmy, my coach. I look up to him, man. He's doing it. He's older. He's in there with me, busting his ass, and he builds a great product. So I don't know if can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah, there's my phone's almost gonna die. I'm sorry, but those are nothing crazy. But I always liked that Mamba mentality, that just go out and like,
Yeah.
Fuck shit up mentality that he always had, and I liked that. So
Yeah, when he was winning in the championship round with the Lakers, he would be like, everybody would be interviewing him. They want a certain speech to be like, listen, the job's not done. I don't care how many games we've won. We ain't won the championship. The job's not done. So I get what you're saying.
There's a video of Kobe when he was on the Olympic team, and he was going against Pau Gasol, who was his teammate on the Lakers.
His teammate, I seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said, the first play, I'm gonna run my screen right through that motherfucker's chest.
And he did.
Goes, I'm gonna let him know. And he goes, I know we're on the same team, but now we're on the opposite team. I'm gonna let him know early. And they show the video clip, and that's his mentality. Like, he's like, I know, he had a little quote after. I can't quote it on it, but he was like, that's what I did. First play of the game, I sent a message and ran it right down his chest and put him on his ass to let him know. And that, the compete level that he had, I always admired.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Who knows who he was?
How old we are.
Who knows who he was as a person? But what I saw from him, through being a kid and growing up, that's what I was attracted to. So.
Absolutely. Guys, Steve, do you want to say something? Because he's only at 5'10".
Sounds like Larry Bird, doesn't it?
Yeah. All day long, baby.
Right, Jerry. So he's a young man, right? But Larry sounds
absolutely.
like Larry Bird, shit talker, and got the job done.
Yeah. So Brian, listen, I know your battery's dying out there on your phone, so I want to try to get these in. Let me ask you this: what does it mean to be a boxer for you?
What does it mean to be a boxer?
Yeah. For you.
To me, it's a personal goal. I always wanted to get after.
And it's in the blood. You said your grandfather.
Yeah,
So
I've always been around it, but it's also like, it's a lonely sport and it's a humbling sport. And you get what you put into it. And what it means to me is I'm a product of what I put into it. If I go in and I get, I go in, I train, and I work at it, I think the results usually speak for themselves. And that's the attraction. I like team sports, but the team sport sometimes allows you to be lazy as an individual. And boxing, like I said, it's lonely, man. It's only you. There's no place to hide in a square ring. And that's what it means to me, is it's a result of the work that I put into it. So
absolutely, and you can hide behind. I know I hear your phone, right? You can hide behind this player, and you got other players. But let me ask you this before and I'm going to go right off track with this question. I know you weren't prepared for any of the questions, but being a police officer, what do you think about high school boxing?
High school I'd love it. I'd love to coach it. No, I think it's a humbling sport that, as like I said, but for high school, hell yeah. Like, they got so much stuff in high school. Like, you could play golf, you could play lacrosse, you could play hockey, whatever you want to do, basketball. But like, there's a lot of kids that need that discipline and they need that confidence to get in the ring by themselves, put in the work and get a result out of it individually, especially at the high school level.
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
yeah, I think
I wish I started fucking 20 years ago. Like,
absolutely, man. And I know you're on the streets and you're dealing with a lot of these kids, so I had to ask you that question. Let me ask you this too. Do you know who you're fighting?
I have no idea.
So that's the thing with amateurs and professionals and all this. And the professional, you know who you're fighting, you study film, you come up with a game plan. Brian don't have time for that. Nope. He's gonna find out. He's gonna find out who he's fighting when he gets there.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna make adjustments on the fly.
I get the impression that I'm going in with Mike Tyson. That's I'm not
the mentality you gotta have. And I think with Jimmy, I'm sorry, Brian, because I don't want your phone to die. I want to get everything out.
No, it's all good. I don't want to train like I'm like this, anticipating going in there against a bag of milk. You know what I mean? I'm anticipating this guy to come in and be ready to rip for as many rounds as we have to go. And, every time that I have a tough time getting in the gym, I just know that this kid, whoever he is, he's probably out there training, trying to beat my ass.
Hey, I always say this, man. Work like they dream. Work while they dream. Whatever, man. I want to get it right now. Work while they dream. live like they dream, or whatever it is. It's a good saying. But anyway, what's it? What I mean. So tell me about if you could, right? If you could, box anybody in the world, and I know we're getting close to the end, and I want your phone to die out, but if you could box anybody in the world, who would you fight?
Oh, Manny Pacquiao.
Ooh,
Why
good
Manny
choice.
Pacquiao?
Damn it.
Did you
Manny,
just see
I would like to get in there with
over the
Manny.
weekend?
I would love to get in there with. I mean, I would like to learn from Mike Tyson. That's who I would like to learn from. But yeah, I mean, you talking about fighters, like to get in with a fighter, like a boxer?
Yeah.
I don't like Mayweather.
You said Manny Pacquiao. You winning that fight?
Pacquiao choice.
Yeah, no, I want to learn from Pacquiao.
Absolutely.
I want to learn. I know I'm not going to win that, but I definitely want to learn.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, give us an update. What's your phone at?
3%.
All right, we're good. So Manny Pacquiao. So let me ask you this: what's it been like boxing for the Massachusetts State Police boxing team?
So, I mean, I haven't got in there with these guys yet. I haven't been in the ring with them. But from what I've learned and what I've gone through in the last few months, these guys have been nothing but they've embraced me from the second I came in. I thought it was going to be like kind of like, the new guy treatment. It's been nothing but respect mutually, and I've learned an absolute ton, and I've met some great people with some great connections. So it's been really good from the jump with these guys, and definitely above what I expected.
Nice, nice. And and I think when you get into that environment, it only brings the best out of you.
Yeah, I've got some of the.
I mean, talent recognizes talent. These guys see what you got. Excuse me. They know you take it serious. So that's the thing. I want to thank you for coming on, but I want to have you on after the fight, Brian, when you got a fully charged phone, right? I want to have you on. Steve's laughing. No, I'm being serious.
Dude, I was on 40%.
I want to get a little bit more.
I thought I was good. This thing was on 40%, and I was watching the battery drain.
Yeah, no, I screwed it up when I lost internet. I don't know what the fuck happened. Everything just went dead. That happens when you're live, though, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Brian, I want to have you on. I'll give you a second, Steve, real quick, Brian. I want to have you on again after the fights. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day.
Yeah, no worries.
To come on the neutral corner. When I see you at the fights, we're doing a selfie together, so I can put you on the neutral corner. And man, thank you for your service and all you do for your community.
Hell yeah, man.
You know what I mean? God bless you. We love you, bro. Steve, you got any last words?
Just come out and support Brian in his first fight. Come out and support our team. We always fight. Come out and support the local community. It's going to be local businesses there with food trucks. Fairhaven Fire Department, another shout out for them. They're supplying some lights for the event. Alert Ambulance is doing a ALS squad for free as a donation. So we got a lot of local companies helping us out. You will be able to go on the mspboxing.com in the next couple of days to buy tickets, but you can buy them at the door and or call my cell phone, which Justin can put up anytime he wants. And I'm looking forward to seeing Brian kick some ass.
Yeah, absolutely, Brian, man. Look, Brian, I'm not your trainer. I'm not Jimmy, but I've been around the sport for a long time. It goes way back to the 40s in my bloodline. Look at, man, the jab is key, baby. Get you in and get you out. That's the combination. I mean, everything's off the jab. You stay behind that jab, you'll be all right. You feel you run out of gas, use that jab. The jab don't have to land. It just needs to be in his face. It'll set everything up. I don't wish good luck. I think, watching you with Jimmy is preparation meeting opportunity, and I think you're well prepared for this opportunity. Brian, thanks again for being on. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate it.
Talk to you soon, bro.
All right.
Bye, brother.
So Steve, I mean, he seems ready. He's got he's ready. He's got the trainer. He's on the Massachusetts State Police boxing team. I'm feeling a good vibe from Brian. What do you think, man? What do you think of that?
Wait, man. So anytime I also am able to connect with a new fighter, what's better than that? So, and to have him speak about maybe getting involved in high school boxing, absolutely. Every other sport is out of high school. Why not boxing? Why not?
No, absolutely. And I've had Bronco McCaw, Chop Coley, Doc, which is Clarissa Shields, Trump. And I've had world champions on my show, Hall of Fame boxers, world championship champions on my show. And we had a roundtable discussion. I think on that night I had a cut man, which is Clarissa Shields cut man. I've had a trainer, was Leonard Langley. He is Daryl Coley, Too Sweet Coley, Fort Oscar De La Hoya, his trainer on. Bronco McCott, world champion and a Hall of Famer. We've had Chop Chop Coley, also a world championship boxer and Hall of Famer. We've had a panel and we talked about high school boxing.
I love
High school boxing for the Neutral Corner has been something that's near and dear to us. And I want to have another roundtable discussion, and I want to bring on different people with different perspectives, different ideas, and how it can work. And I want to talk about the pros and cons. I think boxing in high school in this area is needed. And not only is it needed, it's going to help with a lot of things, with our mental health issues, with our obesity, with our bullying. Boxing's not a sport. I get excited about this, Steve. I get excited, Steve. Boxing's not one of those sports that you think of. It's brutal. It teaches a lot of discipline.
Yes.
It's good for the body, mind, and soul. You know, you've been around sport for a long time. How do you feel?
Teaches a lot of lessons, right? Teach, like Brian was talking about. It's a one-man sport. You got to be accountable to yourself. You put the work in, you're going to succeed. You don't put the work in, you're not. You don't have anybody else carrying you except your trainer, but your trainer ain't climbing in the ring with you, right? So it's an individual sport, but it can be very well acclimated to a community setting, right? Because if you get a bunch of kids, you got a bunch of high schools that want to do it, you can count on me and pick my brain anytime. I'll be more than happy to help out. Get that going anywhere in the state. I love every minute of it.
I want to be. So if I want to be remembered for anything in my life, I want to be remembered for trying to push high school boxing for the Fall River, Massachusetts area, Fall River, New Bedford, Brockton, Fairhaven, all within our big three, and have high school boxing run through USA Boxing. I think it's important. It would work a lot for our youth in the city.
Absolutely.
Again, it would work for obesity. It would work for mental health. It would work for just, not everybody's built for a team sport.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And you're held accountable, like you say. If you're not, if you don't do your road work, you don't get in the gym, it's going to show. You can't hide behind teammates. It's only you in that boxing ring. So you got to commit. Not only do you got to commit, you got to submerge yourself into the sport and give everything you got to be successful. And that's what these guys are doing on a Massachusetts State boxing team. State police boxing team. Well, how's everything going? Where we're at? Anything's changed?
No, so I can't wait for the show. It's going to be outside again. I'm excited that we get to fight outside again. I'm excited that there's other country police and fire coming in, and other state police and fire coming
England, man, England. Say that again.
Hello.
Hello.
Steve?
Steve, that's me. Look, it's live. We're live. I had technical issues. Steve's having technical issues. It's what happens when you go live. That's what happens when you go live. Gonna have a new background coming soon too. I don't want to give too much away. Steve's back. Look, Steve, how you doing? I can hear you loud and clear. Look, technical difficulty. This is what. Look, when you're in that boxer, hear me out, Steve. When you're in that boxing ring and you came up with a game plan and everything's working, you're shooting that jab, you're getting off the line, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, you get hit with that punch. Now you have to get some adversity, and it's how you come back for that. And that's what we do on a Neutral Corner with Live. I went through what I went through, you went through, you went through. It's how you come back. Look at it.
We always come back. We always get back up.
Maybe.
Always get back up.
Absolutely, man.
So listen,
Steve,
I want to say thank you for all you do for boxing in your neck of the woods, man. I mean, I see your posts. I watch this now. I mean, it's amazing that you take it upon yourself because you love the sport and you know what it can do. So I'm grateful to be on here. I'm grateful that you're doing what you're doing and Justin's doing what he's doing. And I want to try and get another fighter on too, but I will. Me and Kyle will come on when you're ready. Again, I got John Hardy's going to come on when you're ready to talk about his gym, and I would like to see a gym open in every town. I mean, I would like to see a high school, every high school team have a boxing team.
And I'll tell you what, we can always record a show and play it on a Tuesday if you both can't make a Tuesday, but everybody can agree on a day. And Justin
Absolutely
far out, so we'd have to really sit down, and I'm sure Justin would be willing to find the day. Tuesday's out. Nothing happens on Tuesday. Hey, look, nothing happens on Tuesday. Sunday's the Lord's day, but
That's
Tuesday's my daughter's day.
Tuesday works for me anytime.
But we won't get, huh?
I said Tuesday's fine too, anytime.
No, look, Sunday's the Lord's day. Tuesday's Danielle's day, so we don't mess with that. But listen, man, I want to have you on leading up to the show. I got Aaron coming on. I'd like to go do some interviews with Aaron Bernardo's boxing. It's there's a lot going on in the fight game, man. Listen, I appreciate the kind words, but the Neutral Corner is your show, and it's everybody else's show that comes on here. You look at, man, I'm just a driver. You guys are the GPS.
That's right.
It's your stage and be able to tell your story. So we're going to have Steve on again. Hopefully we get Kyle on. Maybe another local fighter come on that was in. Brian was great. I want to thank you so much, Steve, for coming on tonight. You got any final things you want to get out before we meet again?
Just come out to the show, watch the fights. We hope to fight there once a year. We hope to be there every single summer. We hope to bring the community together. We hope to raise a ton of money for charity. So please come out and buy tickets, enjoy the festivities, and watch us fight.
Absolutely. So once again, let everybody know if they wanted to get tickets, where they could get tickets, Steve.
MSPboxing.com should be up and running in a couple days, where you can go onto that site and buy tickets for the show. You can buy tickets at the door the night of the event, or you can call my cell phone, 508-685-2315 to buy tickets as well. And or if you're a business owner and you want to put an ad in the program book, you do get complimentary tickets if you put an ad in the program book for the event.
That's amazing. Steve, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, brother.
The Neutral Corner. That's what we're here for, is to help gyms and just different organizations putting on events to be able to get that word out there. So thank you so much for coming on tonight, man.
God put us in touch for a reason, Jerry. God put us in touch for a reason.
Amen, brother. That. Amen.
Yes,
amen.
Sir.
God is good.
Yes, sir. All right,
Steve,
guys.
have a great night. We'll be in touch.
I'll talk to you. See you
soon. Absolutely. So look, man, tickets available at the door. MSPboxing.com should be up and going for you to buy tickets. It's going to be a great event. Massachusetts State boxing team. I didn't even know the Massachusetts State Police boxing team. I didn't know the Massachusetts State Police even had a boxing team. Not only did I didn't know that, but I didn't know they were the only ones in the country. Man, come on, man, Massachusetts, baby. I knew we were fighters. Massachusetts, the only state police with a boxing team. Stand up, Massachusetts. You in the game now. Massachusetts State boxing team. Wow, amazing. And I think they do an amazing event and being able to help different local organizations and things like that. I want to thank everybody that's watched tonight. I want to thank everybody that's commented in the show. I want you to share the show. It's important that you do. That's the only way we get viewers, and the way we grow is through our fans. So if we grow, you grow, right? And I think it just makes it a bigger stage for you to come on and promote your gym, promote your organization, promote your programs, promote your events, promote your fighters, all that stuff. We want to be a part of your growth, and we want you to be a part of our growth together also as we grow as the Neutral Corner. Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday, with some new guests and some new interviews during the week, because I plan on visiting Bernardo's Boxing on Anawan Street for week 3 this weekend. Get your tickets at the door, Bernardo's Boxing. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great night.
Right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier.